on, guys? So I want to state a couple things. Okay, first off, go vote for me at the thing if you haven't already. At Underworld 666, look for barrier statues or street. Link will be down in the description. Vote me up. I think I have enough votes to be on the next competition. But you know, and I think my tallying might be over already. But I don't know. Just go vote anyways. I'm not sure. Also, I'm doing it in 720p for this video because I'm gonna see if there's really that much of a difference of quality with my camera when it goes to YouTube. Because sometimes YouTube 720p to 1080p, I can never tell the difference, and it also make editing go a little quicker. So we're gonna see. Let me know if you see a difference in quality, and then I'll go back to the 1080p. But otherwise, let's just get on with the video. All right, this is the topic I would like to talk about is discouragement in Yu-Gi-Oh! And what I mean by being discouraged is there are players that don't give decks chances and they get discouraged, and that's just half of it. We'll get to the other half of the discouragement in a second. So, little story, as we know, I like battling boxers. I like to talk about them from time to time. So, this is my example, because some people might pick up battling boxers and not know how the deck works and try it a few times and be discouraged and say this deck sucks or whatever, and then they think for life that deck sucks because they got too discouraged to try the deck out. And I'm not mad at people who do that or anything. I can understand your discouragement because that happens with higher tier decks. I feel like I'm playing them wrong when they don't do well and they're supposed to be the best. But you have to learn how to play them. And that works the same with low budget decks. I don't think players seem to get that. When a deck is lower tier, I don't think people understand in this day of age of Yu-Gi-Oh! Lower tier decks aren't bad. They just can't hold up. They can do plays. So people think they play them and they're not playing them right and they automatically think this deck is horrible, it's not that, it's bad. Most decks that are at least between tier 1 and tier 5 are good. They're not like complete horse crap, it's just like they take more time to set up or stuff like that. Then I'd say any deck below tier 5 is just kind of more of a gimmick type of deal. I'd even say tier 4 really, but you know, whatever. But that's a problem because people are not playing lower tier decks just because of the discouragement factor that they don't understand how the deck works. And I can understand, like I said, I can understand that why you'd be discouraged when you can't understand something. But this goes for all decks. I'm not even talking meta, I'm talking low meta. Don't get discouraged because you can't figure out a deck right away. It's not a matter of you're intelligent or you're the best at the game or anything like that. Some people, like some decks you can get, some decks you don't. And I understand that. There's a bunch of decks that I still have trouble like understanding what all the plays are. But don't get discouraged. Keep on trying and figure out the deck. You'll have fun. If you're getting bored with the game, go and figure out a deck that you have no idea how to play. Like, I understand that it might not be interesting to you because you just can't get it, and even though how many videos you watch or whatever, you just can't seem to understand how it plays or what you're supposed to do. But keep trying. Battling Boxers was that deck with me. I saw other people do it. This was a while back, a year ago now. But I saw other people doing well with them. Like, I just do not understand. I just don't get why are they doing well? I don't understand why they're playing these cards. And finally, it was like a side deck for me, Battling Boxers. Finally, I took the time and I played the crap out of the deck online, in real life. I was saying what cards work, what don't work, and I got to the build that I'm currently comfortable with now, after all this time. And that's from just not letting the discouragement being like, oh man, this deck is awful, because it was to me for a while. Like, I was using Summoner Monks and stuff. I have no idea what I was doing back then. But I got through it, and now I'm really happy with the deck, but from before I was like, wow, Battling Boxers kind of suck. And now I think they're really good because you understand how to play it. You understand the deck, you understand the in and outs, and that's what's required to play the game, or any deck for that matter. The point of this part of the video is that don't get discouraged by the lower tier decks when you don't understand how they play, or even higher tier. Go out and figure it out, and you'll be surprised how well they work out as soon as you start to really learn the deck. My argument for that is some higher tier decks, not all, some don't require as much learning curve as some lower tier decks to understand all the plays and in and outs. But that can go either way. It's not always the case. Like I said, I'd say that's like case 50% of the time. Now, my other point of discouragement in Yu-Gi-Oh! Players is they think they're always bad. And I don't know why they do this. Just because you lose a game with a deck, you could be the best deck, does not mean you're bad at the game, necessarily. The game is based off luck. And I'm not saying you're best at the game either, but you don't want to get discouraged. Like, some people will pick up a deck that they've been wanting to play, they've been playing online, they've been doing well or something, and they go and buy it. Maybe not right off the bat. I'm not even saying it has to be expensive. It could be a cheap deck, doesn't matter. And they go and play it, and they get discouraged because it's not working out the way they want, and they don't give it time. And they either try to sell the deck off, or just ignore it, and they never want to play it again. And that's not right. You shouldn't get discouraged when you win or lose. Like, you could be doing really well against all your friends or whatever online, and when you go to a tournament, you could do absolute poop. And a lot of players that are really into tournament stuff like that know that this is true, that you can't always base off how well you do online or around with your friends when you go to a tournament. So don't get discouraged and be mad at the game just because you're not doing so well. It's not necessarily your skill, and it's not necessarily the deck, it could have just been the chances of that time. The reason why I was talking about discouragement is because I was getting discouraged trying to learn some of the new cards that are coming out. I can even forget their names now. See, I'm even getting discouraged now because I can't. It was just reminding me that I've seen people online also like bitching at me about decks or what cards are wrong, but they haven't tested it. And I honestly feel like that's a part of it. They got set off with the deck because they didn't understand it. Now, if you understand all of them and you still say opinions, I mean, it's whatever. I won't know that you know all of them, but, like, in your head, I get what you're saying when you give advice and stuff. I'm just saying. Also, don't get discouraged because you did bad at a tournament or something like that, or somebody beat you. Doesn't mean your deck's bad, doesn't mean you're bad at the game. Just keep playing, and whatever, you just had a bad time that time. You can't be the best every time. Everybody knows that. Even the top players that get topped all the time understand that even though they probably get let down when they don't, like, get to the top 16 or whatever, they do understand that the game is somewhat luck-based, and that you can't always expect to do the best. So guys, this was kind of, I wouldn't say a rant, it was more of a trying to pick up anybody who watches my video and thinks that they're bad at the game or whatever. Don't think that. Just keep playing. It's for fun. Don't be discouraged so easily by things you don't understand. Just go and learn it. Take your time with it. And don't be discouraged if you lose. Doesn't necessarily mean you're bad. Just whatever. And if you do think it is because you're bad, just keep studying up on the game and watching people play and know to fix your mistakes. But don't be let down all the time for it. It's just a card game. Try to have fun with it. So yeah, this is my up video for everybody. Share it, because I feel like everybody needs to listen to this once in a while. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Like this video, thumbs it up, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you later. Peace!